What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of My Team Career Mode. Today we are here for this Japanese Grand Prix, and it is gonna be a roller coaster Grand Prix because the circuit is one of the different circuit in the calendar, and so we have to be aware of the fact that our car is not as much developed to tackle the exigencies of the circuit. So it will be a dry race, so there is no need of any wet weather setup, and we'll be upgrading our car slowly. So we'll be upgrading the powertrain and the durability department sections so that we can get the much needed straight line speed. As still we are at the bottom of the R&D chart, so we have to improve a lot, and we are just going through the setup and we are just trying to gain the much needed straight line speed. For that we are going for some aggressiveness in the setup, and I don't know whether this will work or not. So here at this start of this first banker lap, you can see that we were quite close to getting the most out of it, but still we finished in P22. So I thought that we were facing some understeer, so we went to the pits and improved our tire pressure and also improved at least 3 points to the front wing so that we can get some more bite at the corners. And you can see here we are almost 7 tenths up on our previous lap, so the improvement in the setup has given us some much needed speed, but still we finish in P22. So it was a disappointing Q1 session for us as Lando Norris is in P1. So the McLaren have done a very good job. So let's see what they can achieve as our teammate is in P21 and we are at P22. So not a good qualifying session for our team, and maybe our car is not suited in this track. So we have to take that into consideration and move forward. So we have to gain the track positions, and for that I'll be going for this alternate strategy of hard to medium tires. As Charles Leclerc, Verstappen, Sainz and Sergio Perez are in the top two row of the grid, and we get some promotion because obviously the other competitors have taken some grid penalty, and so it is a GG day for us as there is 5 red lights and away we go for the start of the Japanese Grand Prix. Here we are at P16 and now we lose one position to P17, and Tsunoda is just behind us and he's obviously the homeboy, so he'll be going for some massive dive bombs as he just goes down the inside of us the turn 1, and we just leave him enough of space, otherwise we would have lost our front wing, which is not necessary at the first lap itself. So the other teams are quite aggressive in the first lap and we have to be careful of that, otherwise it may do some damage to us. So right now we are just going through this sector 1, which is quite a technical sector, and since our tire is not up to the temperature, so it will be quite a different thing to just maneuver our car through this traffic. As at the hairpin you can see we just go down the inside of an Aston Martin and we almost collided with the back of Guan Yu, but still we were able to maintain our front wing and it did not cause much damage. As right now we are just behind Lance Stroll and we thought of sending one down at the spoon corner, but still we couldn't as our tire is not up to temperature and the grip is also quite low. And George Russell, the Mercedes guy who has taken some grid penalty, is right behind us, and obviously he will be trying to go for the switchback. And you can see Lewis Hamilton is in the pits, so he has some damage to his front wing, so the Mercedes are not having some great day because George Russell has taken some engine penalty and he is at the rear of the field, and Lewis Hamilton had to go to pits for some wing damage. As talking about not a good day, Lance Stroll gets DNF'd, so the Mercedes engine has again proved that it is not as reliable as it is again getting DNF'd at this Japanese Grand Prix. So we'll have to see what the race progresses in front of us. As right now, George Russell is just behind us and he's using all of his ERS to get overpower us. And we are just trying to send one down the inside, but just Russell brake checks us. Fortunately, we did not collide with the diffuser of Russell, otherwise it would have definitely given us a penalty. So Mercedes is just braking too early at the turn 1. I don't know if that is exception or maybe he just missed his braking point, but obviously I'll have to be careful of that because obviously if again the Mercedes just brake checks us, then it will be quite a concern because we may be losing our front wing and we do not want here at this Japanese Grand Prix. And now you can see Tsunoda is just 2 tenths behind us and he's just trying to gain as much straight line speed, and obviously the Honda powered engine is just no match to us, the Renault powertrain. But still again you can see Tsunoda just braked too early at the turn 1 and he just couldn't make that overtake, and we capitalize on that. So I think that will be a theme of this race as the other teams are just braking too early at the turn 1, and I was thinking that maybe there is an opportunity for us to go down the inside or around the outside the turn 1 if the other teams also brake too early. So here at the lap 11 you can see Tsunoda is again just behind of us and he's 3 tenths behind, but again his braking capability at the turn 1 is not so good, so he's again losing some time and we have to gain this advantage, otherwise we will be having to lose some track positions. As you can see, Guan Yu is doing some terrific job. He's just holding back Russell too much, which is not allowing Russell to overtake him. So now Russell is facing some difficulty, overtaking Guan Yu Zhou, and this is helping us because obviously we are going so close to Russell. You can see at the start of the lap 12 we are so close to the diffuser of Russell, and this is a much needed sign that we can at least gain some track positions if we are able to do some undercut. Because I was thinking that if I do overcut it will be of not much use because obviously our tire wear is quite high compared to the other teams, so we have to do some undercut, and we will be just hoping that we can hold on to those tires till the end of the lap 27. So right now you can see Guan Yu just holding Russell so much that at the end of this hairpin you can see we were so close to overtaking Russell, but still the Mercedes Sport Train is having some terrific straight line speed as Guan Yu Zhou just locked up, which made him lose his momentum, and Russell was just behind, and he's just trying to go for a move here, and we are just following Russell, and we are just trying to see if Russell can make a move and we can follow suit on that. And at the spoon corner you can see we are just facing some oversteer because our tire is just dropping off. So the tire degradation is high in this Japanese Grand Prix, and we will have to be mindful of that. And at this casino triangle we are just trying to go as close as possible to Russell so that we can gain a much needed track position in the upcoming laps. So at the start of the lap 13 you can see several cars are going into the pits, and we are just trying to overcut some of the cars and also undercut the two competitors in front of us. So for that we have to be fully committed in this lap so that we can use full our ERS, and we will also be trying to stay as close to Russell as possible because the dirty air at the sector 1 is quite a thing because the turns are quite tricky to maneuver, and the effect of dirty air just pushes so much of understeer onto your car that it is difficult to have some bite on the asphalt. And here in the hairpin you can see George Russell has made a move on Guan Yu Zhou, and Russell has successfully overtaken Guan Yu Zhou. So now I was thinking that maybe I should go for the pits and do some undercut because since Russell has overtaken Guan Yu Zhou, so definitely he can go ahead of us because his car is too powerful, and the Mercedes engine definitely has some terrific straight line speed as we are seeing in the previous races that they are closing the gap to the Red Bull. So we send one down the inside of Guan Yu Zhou at the casino triangle, and we just make the move stick, just heading towards the pits. So we made a position while going to the pits, which is a good thing because every position counted this Japanese Grand Prix, and we were going for the medium tires. So we will be doing some 13 laps on this medium. I think it is a far-fetched idea because the mediums will also degrade fast, so I have to be careful of that, and I have to make some crucial overtakes at the beginning itself so that we can utilize the full potential of our medium tires at the very beginning. And here at the start of the lap 15 you can see we just undercut Tsunoda and Dragovic, but still we couldn't undercut George Russell because obviously he's in the Mercedes and he has some terrific straight line speed. So we were thinking of going down the inside at this hairpin, but still we couldn't make it as we just go a bit wide at this corner, which just offsets some momentum, and we have to wait for another lap to make a move on George Russell. So now I was just thinking that if I can able to maintain my gap closer to George Russell, then I will be able to make the move at the hairpin. So in this sector 1 you can see we are just pushing so hard. We are just staying at least 3 tenths behind George Russell, and we are trying to send one down the inside at this hairpin, but we couldn't make it as George Russell just covers the apex. So it is a terrific battle between me and George Russell, and this is not quite I was expecting at the start of this weekend, but still it is good because obviously we are competing with the likes of Mercedes, at least for the track position, and we are not just too fast, but we are just making good use of the opportunity that we are able to utilize the space and potential we have. And at this hairpin you can see we are sending one down the inside, but still again George Russell just locks up and gives us the space to us. So I want a brilliant overtake from us, as it was a mistake from George Russell because he went too hot in the brakes and just lost the braking capability, and it is GG's to us as we overtook him. And at the spoon corner you can see George Russell is just behind of us, and he's trying to make a move, but he goes a bit too hard and he faces some oversteer, and so he's struggling a lot. So the Mercedes guy is quite eager to overtake us, and we have to defend ourselves because there are still 5 laps remaining. And as we are talking about that, Fernando Alonso gets DNF after Suzuka 130R. So it was a disappointing Grand Prix for the Spaniard as he just parks the car at the Suzuka 130R, and so there is only a yellow flag and no safety car. There is no chance of any going for soft tires due to a safety car because our tire wear is quite high. It is 49% here itself, so, and we still have 3 laps to go. So probably we'll be hitting the 60% mark if we push too hard at this penultimate 2 laps, and we will be pushing too hard because George Russell is 3 tenths behind us. So George Russell is looking for an opportunity to send one down the inside at the sector 2 because this is where an opportunity comes. So we have to defend the hairpin, and we go and park our car right at the apex so that Russell couldn't overtake us. And now he has lost some time because maybe he just lost his momentum at this hairpin. At this final lap you can see George Russell is closer to us, and he's trying to go move around the outside, but still again he brakes too early and he couldn't couldn't make the move. So right now we are just defending our position at this sector 1, because this is one of the most challenging sectors of this Grand Prix, and because of the twisty turns, and our car is not suitable for this track, and we have to manage our car somewhat, because obviously there is too much of drag in our car. So we are just holding by a thread to this P10 position, and we will be trying to gain that 1 point, because maybe that 1 point is not significant, but still it is a good morale booster for our team, as we'll be moving ahead in the championship standings ahead of Aston Martin. And as you can see, the tire weight is 61%, so the tire degradation at the Japanese Grand Prix is quite high, as Max Verstappen wins at the Japanese Grand Prix. So GG's to the Red Bull, and now we are facing some challenge from George Russell, who is just trying to send one down inside at this casino triangle, and we somehow managed to control our position, and we're just facing some oversteer, and we just use whatever URS we have, and we cross the checkered flag by going P10. What a race this was, and definitely we deserve the driver of the day, because it was not a good qualifying session, but somehow we were lucky to get some P16 position at the start, and we finished in P10. So I would say one of the stressful races in this career mode season, because we had to defend quite a lot from George Russell. As Charles Leclerc takes the lead forward with some more points, and Ferrari is still leading the championship. So I think maybe Ferrari and Charles Leclerc will be winning this year also, like in the season 1. So it was a difficult race for us, and but still we managed to get 1 point. So we are looking forward to such races, exciting races in the coming Grand Prix as well, as we make some engine component change of the gearbox. The next race will be at the US Grand Prix, and thank you guys for watching this video, and do like and subscribe to this channel for daily F1 22 content, and we will meet you again at the next Grand Prix, which will be at the Circuit of the Americas. Till then, peace.